All right, I got the sound on, guys. Good job. Good job. All right, let's do this again. Once again, I'm Steve Kreiner, the dog soldier. Y'all know me. And welcome to this week's show. This is the Predator Hunter Today. This is all focused around the predator hunting industry. It's all focused on just badass stuff about predator hunting. We're going to be talking about the predator hunting industry. We're going to be talking about products. We're going to be talking to some predator hunting badasses. I mean, the guys that really kill. We're going to talk to some industry guys. This is not going to be a product-driven show. I might talk to somebody from Fox Pro, and we're not going to spend an hour talking about Fox Pros. We're going to talk about predator hunting, the industry, life on the road. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, and like I said, this is no holds barred. We got some cool guests on today. Justin McCowan from Operation Predator Rising, or excuse me, Operation Veterans Rising. I want to say Operation Predator all the time because you guys remember the old days. Back in HS, I used to do all the Operation Predator videos. But we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun on this show, and pretty simple. We got an hour to do it. I wanted to be very, let's see here. I wanted to be very unbiased this first show. I wanted to have a guest that some of us know. I've known him for a long time, and some of us haven't known for a long time. Maybe some of you guys on YouTube don't know Scott Hampton very well. But yes, I'm going to have Scott Hampton on tonight. And even though Scott's worked for me, we don't agree on everything. We're men, and we talk about it, and we hash it out. And sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't, or sometimes we just agree to disagree. But that's what's a good thing about this show. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. So first of all, I want to talk about some news. I'm going to do news at the front of this show at every show. I'm not going to talk about boring shit you see on CNN or Fox News. I might talk about some stuff on Fox News. Who knows? But we're going to try to base it on the predator hunting industry or predators in general. So let's get right to it. First, I want to talk about some news that come in 2 weeks ago. It's about a young folk musician from Canada. Now, this young lady I just put up on the screen, she was 19 years old. She was walking by herself, or hiking, in Cape Breton Highland Park in Nova Scotia 2 Tuesdays ago. There was an altercation between some coyotes and her, and with eyewitnesses, 2 coyotes gave her enough wounds that she later died at the Halifax Hospital the next morning. Now, a mounted Canadian police officer, or Canadian mounted police, however y'all want to say that, I don't really care, heard the altercation as well, and the citizen she called out for, and the policeman actually had shot 1 coyote, and later on that week, some park officials shot a coyote and actually killed it. The officer didn't get it killed, but they did shoot a second coyote, or the same coyote, and they believed to be the one or one of the 2 that attacked this young lady. They don't really know for sure. They sent it off to a college, and really I don't know how or why, or you know what? It did happen. Excuse me. I said 2 Tuesdays ago. You're right. And but anyway, Taylor Mitchell. Well, anyway, they sent this coyote off, and they were trying to figure out if this coyote was, the coyote and wrong and yada yada yada. But there was this Gadbius guy. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but this Gadbius guy or woman had thought it to be 2 juvenile coyotes, and they actually said they were shy, maybe hungry, inexperienced hunters, and her running may have triggered a predatorial response, which I think is total bullshit. Coyotes are coyotes. That's how it is. They're predators. They're animals of opportunity, extreme opportunity, and they'll do what they need to do to survive. So what I'm telling you today is, if I was the predator hunter today, when PETA lashes out at me or antis lash out at me, I'd get educated, I'd read stories like this, and I'd throw them right back at them. It's like this. I don't freaking believe in this crap. When when antis jump up on my fan page or anywhere else and start their crap, I fight right back. That's just how it is. This is America. We're allowed to do so, and that's what we're gonna do. Plain and simple. I don't know how else to say it. Speaking of antis and PETA, Wyoming a few weeks ago delisted wolves. Now this picture looks like a big old fluffy wolf with a little young'un. That is a killing machine, probably the most apex predator in North America. I'm telling you right now, this is a badass animal. Wyoming delisted these wolves and about a month ago, and that means that the government put in the state's hands the job of managing these wolves. What does that really mean? Well, in 2011, they did the same thing. And then in 2014, Judge Amy Jackson decided that the state was too stupid or too incapable enough, and she listed them back, which is a bunch of bullshit. Because I'm telling you right now, they're killing machines. There was a reason they were about killed off hundreds of years ago, or 100 years ago, and it's because they're mean. They're bad on farm animals. The elk population in Yellowstone has dwindled. They're really, really, really super bad. So when people ask me, what does that mean they delisted them? Two things can happen. They can make them a predatory animal in Wyoming, and you can shoot them on sight just like you can coyotes and gray foxes, and jackrabbits are even a predator in Wyoming. And you don't have to have a license to hunt them, and you can see what happens and see if you can get a wolf. Or they put them a season on them. Maybe they might make them a game animal this time. That way they get a little more control over the management, and maybe that will appease the fighting battle, but it's not going to work like that. These lawyers get $1,000 an hour to fight cases like this, and neither lawyer is on our side. I'm just telling you that right now. If I was a predator hunter today, Wyoming delisting predator or wolves like that, I would go get educated on wolves. I would start scouting my ass off, because one thing's going to happen for sure when they are delisted, but when they do decide whether we can shoot them on sight or have a season, what's going to happen is we're going to be competing against a lot of people wanting to hunt wolves here in Wyoming. Also, we're going to be competing against government trappers, because at that point, they have no restriction whatsoever, and they don't have to bullshit nobody in order to shoot a wolf. They can shoot a wolf just like we can, and they got a lot bigger budgets and a lot bigger toys than us. So if I was a predator hunter today, I'd get my ass off the couch and figure out how to kill a wolf, because you're only going to have a few days to do it once they decide. Now, a little bit more, just one more thing, and then we're going to get rolling here. Look at this picture right here. You guys like bull riding? Okay, this picture right here is a bull named Shaky. Now, this bull is hauled by the Jenkins Cattle Company, which is owned by L.J. Jenkins, and you guys know him. He's a PBR bull rider that has retired. L.J. was knee-high to a grasshopper back when I was fighting bulls, and I got to know L.J. He's a pretty good cat, but what I really like about this bull named Shaky is he has the CPR brand on his side. CPR means Center Point Ranch. That's in Fairgrove, Missouri. Some buddies of mine, Wes and Brandon Hill, and their father own Center Point Ranch. They've raised a lot of good buckers. Red Cat, Rango, we all know Rango. He was actually the face of the PBR. I believe in 2012 he was the cover photo on their calendar. Badass bull. Robinson overbucked him for the movie. I think it was The Longest Ride or some shit like that, a movie. And anyway, he twisted a gut and died. So somebody got a lot of insurance out of that. But Rango, one of the best bulls going, mile for mile, bull ride for bull ride, was one of the best bulls ever to hit the PBR. He hauled way more miles than Bushwhacker even. And he scored way more points than Bushwhacker even, because he was bucked more, mile for mile, every show Rango was at. And I really, really, really like Center Point bucking bulls. And you can see right there in that picture that Jenkins Cattle Company is hauling him to some big shows. This picture is Cannon Cravens in Joplin, Missouri. And this bull made his debut there, I believe. But anyway, he's been on TV 3 or 4 times, and he's bucking Brazilians off like no tomorrow. I mean, he's really bucking. All right, now, man, 10 minutes flies fast. I tell you, sheesh, I don't know what to do. I act like one of them Fox News. Do I look like a Fox News guy? Tell me the truth. Here's the fun part of the show. Ask Kreiner. Ask me anything. I'll tell you the truth. If you guys waste this question, if you guys waste this if you guys waste this question on something like if a 17 HMR is good for coyote hunting, I'm going to be pissed. So I'm going to take a couple questions real quick, and it's Ask Kreiner, ask anything. I will tell the truth. I promise I will tell the truth, no matter what it is. So anyway, let's hear it. Tyler Mitchell saying make it a 2-hour show. I wish I could, but you know what? I got Emily upstairs. She's been up there all day. I've been setting up mics. I've been setting up cameras. I've really tried to make this a good show. And comment and let me know if you guys like it so far. Let me know if you like the news. Let me know if you don't like the news. But tell me what's going on. So anyway, ask us a question. Ask Kreiner. Ask anything. I will tell the truth. Let's hear it, boys. You guys can surely ask a question. Everybody shuts up as soon as I tell you all to ask me a question. Don't waste it. What type of calls would you use right now? Okay, we're going to talk some predator hunting. First of all, Steven Smith says AR versus bolt gun. I'm using a bolt gun all day long. I love bolt guns. I love ARs, don't get me wrong, but I like them at the range. They feel funny to me hunting with them. They're a great predator hunting platform, surely with follow-up shots and everything, but I'm a bolt gun type of guy. Gavin says, what type of calls would you use right now? Gavin, I've always used coyotes about every time of the year, every stand, subtle coyotes, and one thing I do is I introduce them subtle coyotes and I pick up with prey in distress. I hardly ever change depending on the year. I hardly ever change. Semi or bolt, obviously William Tara bolt. What's a good call to use when you're a beginner? I would go out and get you a... obviously, this is a shameless plug, but a Dog Soldier FLX 500 from Tactical Predator Hunter. Now, TacticalPredatorHunter.com is my store, and that's who makes all this crap possible. I do this for a living. But I'd get an FLX 500 and fire it up, push a button, and kill coyotes. Or you can get some hand calls, and there's a lot of good electronic calls on the market, but you do need all the tools. It's like fishing. If you go to the lake and they're biting on chartreuse and you ain't got nothing but pink or gray, you're screwed, right? I'm not a big decoy guy for coyotes. I like my coyotes to come in and keep coming in, and that's pretty much how it's going to be. If you got 3 coyotes coming in, the first one checks up, the other 2 check up, and then it's just a bad deal. I want them, all 3 of them on top of me. I'm an old contest hunter, and I want to kill them all. That's pretty well where I'm at. William, I was just in Alberta hunting wolves. Yes, I'm going to do some Canadian shows. I'm working on some coyote shows right now. But down here in the great United States of America, it's hard to leave because I got more coyotes than I can shake a stick at. West Tennessee. You know what? It is not on my schedule, but you never know. Tell me, guys, why some of you guys are asking some questions. I'm going to ask you a question. Did you guys like the news part? I know that one story's old, but it's a story that brings out the best of us, and we need to know that kind of stuff. That way we have ammunition when these people jump on our case. We can throw it back at them. You know, a lot of them people are crazy, and they're going to say, well, that coyote has a right to that park just like that girl did. Well, we have a right to kill them then, right? Electronic call or hand calls? Yeah, you know, okay, now we got something here. I'm electronic call and a hand call guy. That's what I want, straight up. Sterling Justice is on, my homie from Texas. What's up, Sterling? He's one of the MFK pro staffers. Always good to have him on the show. I'll be having him actually on the show here before long. He's good shit. What pisses you off the most about this new breed of pro hunters popping up on YouTube? Okay. Okay, you asked. I'll tell the truth. Okay, so what really aggravates me some is first of all, I want to say this. I don't want to... Brian O'Brien says, what pisses you off the most about this new breed of pro hunters popping up on the YouTube shows? It don't make me mad that these guys are living the dream or trying to. It don't make me mad that they have a dream. I tell you what makes me mad is when they ride a shirt tail, which is fine. But what makes me mad is, the method to my madness is originality. I've never copied anybody. I will admit, when I first started, yeah, I regurgitated shit just like everybody else did. And I really learned fast that that's not how you can do it, and that's why I'm successful. So when I see these YouTube channels popping up and they're doing the exact same stuff we're doing, that's fine. But let me tell you what really hurts. What hurts is when they're doing the same thing I'm doing and doing it for free. I used to be a carpenter by trade. I made $60,000-$70,000 a year, and I quit being a carpenter by trade to hunt for a living. The first year I hunted for a living, I made $32,000. That was 12 years ago. That's all right money. A guy can live on that. But I didn't do it for free. The first question I asked Al Morris, and we'll talk about this when Al's on the show sometime, the first thing that I asked Al is how much it paid. Being a hard-working American and a carpenter, I learned real quick what being underbid's all about. And it sucks when somebody comes in, don't know what they're doing, don't know what they're talking about. So since they're so insecure and stupid, they do it for free. People like me that feed our kids, pay our bills, everything else, it makes it really, really, really hard on us. And I know these people are trying their best, but the only thing I can do is give them a recommendation and start charging for their work, because all they're doing is giving away free marketing and making somebody a lot of money if you're doing things right. And that's pretty much, the bad thing. It's pretty much the bad thing about it. Chris Becker asks, why won't the Sportsman Channel give you an hour slot? Best, most real predator hunting show there is. Chris, I really appreciate it. They won't give me an hour slot because I don't buy it. A lot of people think being on TV is these people pay me to be on TV. That's not the case. I invest $170,000 a year to be on TV. If all my sponsors pulled out right now, I'd lose everything I owned. And that's the thing about it. One thing about it is we buy this airtime, we pay for our hunts, we pay for production, we do all this stuff, and then we got to produce a show professional enough to keep our sponsors. So I ain't worried about some of these YouTube guys taking the TV slot. That's nothing, but digital media is a very big, important part of the world now. And every time a YouTube channel pops up or somebody starts their own thing, that's fine, but when they do it just to get a pat on their back, they suck. I mean, that's just plain and simple. All right, guys, that is Ask Kreiner, Ask Anything. I will tell the truth. I've got somebody, for you guys just joining, I have somebody coming on the show, and I'm going to dial his number right now. And I'm going to put him on speakerphone. And since I'm unprofessional as hell, I'm going to prop him up right here. This is Scott Hampton of Oklahoma. Scott's filmed for me. He's filmed for Tim Wells.
Hello.
Scott Hampton.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. You're on the Predator Hunter today with Steve Kreiner. Have you ever heard of me before?
Are you a truck driver?
My daddy is. All right, Scott. Here's what we're gonna do on the Predator Hunter today. Of course, the first 2 minutes of the show I had no audio, so I fixed that and I got everything lined out. I did ask Kreiner, and he'll tell the truth. I promise. I did all my cool stuff. I did all my my boring ass news. So now we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. What I was telling these folks is I wanted somebody that was unbiased. And when I ask people for opinions, I want an unbiased opinion, and I want somebody that I can learn from, whether I agree with them or not, or whether they use a Fox Pro or a Flex Tone. When I ask somebody, I want it to mean something, and that's why I wanted you on the first show, because you don't bullshit nobody, and I really like that.
Yeah, a lot of people take it kind of wrong, but I tell it how I see it. It might not always be right, but I'm honest.
Yeah, so that's why I thought you was perfect for the show, because I'm sure I am 100% positive that there's probably a big amount of people out there. We got 56 watching right, or 58 watching right now, which is super good for the first show, especially since I just popped up with it this week. But we want to talk hunting and we want to talk everything else. But I'm sure a lot of people thought this was just going to be I'm Steve Kreiner, I'm a badass, I use flex tone, I use all this shit, buy it kind of show, and that's really not what we're doing here. And somebody just commented that you were a male stripper. Is that true?
I was, yeah. That's how I make my money, so I can hunt and buy guns and stuff.
There you go. For you guys just joining, that smiley face on the screen is the voice of Scott Hampton himself. Scott # Hampton. Now, Scott, we've been around a long time with each other. We didn't really get off on the right foot. We had some complications there, and we worked it out like men. But let's talk about the good times and, the fun times. What's your funnest thing? What's your funnest part of predator hunting? What's the funnest thing you like about predator hunting?
I think the challenge. It's, you can go out and kill 3, 4, 5, 6 coyotes today, and the next 3 or 4 times you hunt, you can make 30 stands and not see a coyote, and you just never know. There's no givens, and it's a challenge, and I get a rush every coyote. When you hunt deer, you hunt that one elusive trophy buck. Every coyote I kill is a trophy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I had a buyer ask me one time, he said, Steve, why do you think that the predator hunting market is so strong, and why do you think we sell so much product? And I said it was a recycled market because everybody goes out and they hear turkeys gobble and they're satisfied even if they don't kill one. Everybody manages deer now, so they might see deer, they might not, but they see a deer. 90% of the time people see a deer, so they're satisfied. Coyote hunting, man, it's tough. And you might not see a coyote for a couple weeks and somebody quits, and then the next year they see us all over again and they see you on Facebook with your dogs or smoking coyotes in a t-shirt and doing it as good as anybody I know, and then they're like, you know what, that's what I need to do that. So then they buy more product and they start hunting again, and then when they call in that coyote, they're just hooked. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. It's a rush, and a lot of guys go out there, and especially if the first time they ever go, if they call a coyote, even if they don't get it killed, they want to go, and they might not see another coyote that season, and but then when it rolls around, deer season ends the next year, they're back out there. They've bought a new call or a new rifle or a new decoy or something like that, and they're back.
Yeah, and that's the thing about coyote hunting as well. We're out hunting every day or every other day, or we're trying our asses off, and it looks like it's easy, but it's really not. And before you know it, you've called in 30 for the year, or even 5. In some places in the United States, 5 is very successful.
Yeah.
So Scott, a lot of people know and a lot of people don't. You've filmed for Dog Soldier a few times, and you've done a hell of a job, and the episodes always turn out good. Tell me about your experience with Tim Wells. We're going to have him on the show hopefully in a couple weeks. I talked to him today, and I'm friends with Tim, but you're really, really good friends with Tim. Tell us about your experiences with Tim. Not only Tim, but just tell us about your experiences behind the camera and work on the working end of predator hunting.
Well, I contacted Tim. It's been 2 or 3 years ago, and he's like you. He gets hundreds of requests to hunt with him or to come hunt, and I sent him some videos. I have a buddy, Jeff Ryder from Arkansas. He uses dogs like I do, and Jeff said that I could send some of his videos to show him, and then I had a guy that I hunted with, and we both had some really nice dogs, and sent him videos, and finally, after my fourth attempt, I was about ready to give up. I mean, I told my wife, I was like, if these two clips right here don't get him, I've done everything I can. It'll never happen. And he finally contacted me, and we set a hunt up and went up to some of my partner's ground and some of Jeff's ground and did decent. We could have had better days, but after that, he's come down 3 or 4 more times, and we've hunted. Had some really good hunts. Killed quite a few coyotes he killed them with a bow, and killing them with 22 magnums. Everything we're shooting anywhere from 10 to 30 yards, and just killing coyotes. And I view him more as primarily like a whitetail hunter, and I know he kills water buffaloes with spears. He shoots baboons running at 100 yards with a bow. But I learned quite a bit about hunting coyotes from the guy. I mean, I think he's probably one of the most efficient killers in the world, and I wasn't going in there thinking I wouldn't learn anything, but I was really surprised at how much I did learn, and just a little bit different setups and getting in tighter places for the bow kills. And then I've gotten to go to southern Oklahoma and down in Texas with him and hunt different types of animals. And the camera, the camera is hard because he carries it. You carry it, and it's not on a tripod. It's hard to get the footage, but the conditions that we hunt under and what he wants it's a little bit different. But as far as I see all these guys that think they want to show, and gosh, I go hunt with you. We hunt a day and a half, 2 days, and I don't think everybody has a bit. They don't understand how much goes into. It's not just what you see on the video. There's so much more to it. There's the editing, the getting in there, getting your equipment set up, getting your secondary cameras put up, and then finally, here we go, turn on the call. Let's try to kill a coyote. And then, of course, you kill a coyote, 2 coyotes, however many coyotes you kill on that stand, and then you have to do different camera angles and get. I mean, it's work, and I wouldn't have a TV show for twice what I make at my job, and I make a pretty damn good living. It's work. It's exhausting. There's no guarantees. If I go hunt 3 or 4 or 5 days and don't kill a coyote, I don't like it, but it's no big deal. If you don't, you've got to have footage. You got to get your 13 episodes in, and I wouldn't do it, and people don't realize how hard you guys work.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass, really. We're kind of like carpenters, I guess. I'm a carpenter, so I use that analogy a lot. We're kind of like carpenters. When we're building a house, we got to put everything together right, or it all falls apart. And it's a really pain in the butt. And you've lived it with me, and you've lived it with Tim, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised when I call you up and say, hey, Hampton, you want to go here and run the camera? I'm surprised you say yes, but you're always there for me when I need you, and we damn sure appreciate that,
Oh, yeah. I have a good time, but you think about it, the first time we were going to hunt 3 days, and we hunted a day and a half, and it was weather. We made 14 stands. You killed 13 coyotes. Every one of them on field. Then this last time we got to western Oklahoma. The wind was blowing 30 miles an hour. It was frigid. First day, we killed 2. Second day, we killed 8. Then we get up the third day, the wind was blowing so hard, so cold. It's just pointless. And, we folded up, and I went home. But one hunted. We hunted 3 full days. I think they made 20 stands and killed 3 coyotes. always like that. But people don't buy advertisements to watch you go out there and not kill anything.
Cool, cool. Hey, we're having an audio problem. Hold on just a minute, Hampton. Let's see. Okay, now we got our audio back. I'm sorry about that, guys, for the audio problem. We got that fixed. So, Hampton. Okay, so one thing one thing I like about you, you're honest about everything, and you see what Tim deals with. You see what I deal with. Um, but one thing that me and you have dealt with in the past together, and so tell me this is what do you think of social media? I mean, me and you kind of got off on a bad start years ago, and it was really because of social media, and my dumb ass don't say things like I should sometime, and it was just a misunderstanding to make the story short. But what do you think of today's predator industry and the direction it's going?
Um, the social media, it's unfortunate that it is like it is. A lot of times, my wife brought this to my attention just the other day. I had a couple people message me and ask me questions about dogs, and she saw me replying, and she goes, "Do you ever read what you type?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And she goes, "Well, if I was on the other end of that, I would think you were a jerk." I said, "Well, I'm not trying to be." So I've kind of gotten to where when I'm on a one-on-one deal with people that I don't know, I ask them to call me. Just call me.
Yep.
And it's so much easier, and nobody, they see that I'm not trying to be the jerk or anything like that. But with the social media, people get on there and um, they definitely don't address each other like they would if they were in the same room. And I understand not everybody's going to agree. Nobody, you can take 100 guys and everybody's not going to agree all the time. There are going to be, out of those 100 guys, there's probably 7 or 8 different electronic calls that will be their choice. They're going to like a different scope. This guy's going to like this brand of rifle. This guy's going to like this one. And, I mean, hell, I don't pull up beside somebody in a stoplight. I drive a Toyota Tacoma. I don't pull up beside somebody in a Ford F-150 and get pissed at them because they're not driving a Tacoma. And I've met a lot of friends. I've got guys that I've never met in person that have come hunted with me and stayed at my house. They're good friends. I consider them friends. And then I got guys that, God, when they post something or they're on a page that I'm on, I just grit my teeth. And I shouldn't let them get to me like that. And I don't so much anymore, but social media can build it up or it can tear it down.
Yeah.
And it just depends on the way you look at it. And I think a lot of these people, you taught me this, that the sales for, say, your call, your FLX 500, the $180 to $200 call market, I tell people it's 3 times the call of any other call you'll buy for that money. And I don't tell them that because it's yours. If I didn't believe it, I just wouldn't mention it. And but the sales of your calls through Facebook are a very, very small percentage.
Absolutely.
It's the other stuff that's out there. People seeing them on the shelves, people finding out about them in other places, and you could probably take yourself off of social media, advertising your call, and you wouldn't notice much difference. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. I think if you get on Facebook and say, I use this scope and this rifle, this ammunition, and this call, that it's going to be a big impact. And, I've seen your numbers. I've seen the other guys' numbers, and it's not. But, social media, I love it and I hate it.
Yeah, it's really a tough deal, and I don't know where it's going. I know, from a business standpoint, I'm always trying to tell people to think about what they are without Facebook, and then that kind of lets that kind of lets us know exactly. It kind of lets us know exactly where we're at. It's it's a tough business. I don't know how in the world. I don't know how in the world I ever made it. I just hit it at a good time, I guess, and I got lucky, and I'm just gonna take it at that. I'd rather be lucky than good any day. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and I think about it. Every product that I use, I can't think of a single thing that I use that I use because of Facebook or because I heard about it or found out about it on Facebook. All my stuff I found out through other avenues. And
Yeah.
occasionally, I'll see something on Facebook and check it out, but 99% of the stuff that I go buy is not because of anything related to Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. The digital age, the TV age, everything everything that's going on nowadays, it just makes it tough on everybody, and it's just like, you just got to keep going. Competition is good, competition is healthy, and just like coyote hunting, we can't expect to grow the business without making the coyote hunting tougher. So, well, hey, Scott, I'm going to let you go. I've got another guest coming on, and I appreciate you being on the show, and we'll have you on here pretty damn soon. What do you think?
All right, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate everything, and thank you very much for being on the show.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. All right, guys, that was Scott Hampton. I'd actually hunted with Scott Hampton. Get his mic out of the way here. I'd actually hunted with Scott Hampton a long time ago. Talked to him on Facebook a long time ago. And, he's a pretty good cat. We started off wrong. I said some things that I really didn't. I meant to say them. I just said them wrong, and that's just how it is. And things are like that. But so, I am going to do something real quick, guys. I'm going to take just a little bit of a break. I'm going to show you guys a video right here. And I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to take a little bit of, probably a 7-minute break. And go ahead and keep chatting. Tell me if you see the video. And I'll be back in just a few minutes. Right here with the Predator Hunter Today and the Dog Soldier. Hey everybody. Welcome to the Dog Soldier. Right here on the Sportsman Channel. It's the first stand of the year. I'm not sure how much we got of it, but when we walked into this stand, there was a coyote right down here, and we almost got him killed. I could never get my gun loaded and everything situated and stuff like that. So we are on coyotes. Dog pound sounds good. That is the new Dog Soldier. One of the 5 new hand calls coming to you guys from Flextone. Dog Soldier Dog Pound. How you liking that new camera? Whoa. Prairie dogs are raising hell. Hold on. Dude right there. "60 yards. 3 o'clock. Right there. Piece of that bitch.
Stay tuned for more of the Dog Soldier. Dog Soldier is brought to you by Flexstone Game Calls. Designed by nature, Flexstone engineered. A Halo XRT6 rangefinder. Never compromise, never miss. Barnett Crossbows. Faster, stronger, lighter. Umarix Airguns. Zeroed in. Pyramid Air. Everything airgun, and then some. Scent Killer Gold with Hunt Dry technology. Apply it, dry it, and go hunt.
First stand of this year's Dog Soldier, man. It's still August, it's early season, the ranchers got us up here. First stand, coyote down, and I tell you what, I've got time for another stand. Guys, if you want to check out, I got all the MFK diaphragm calls at my online store, Tactical Hunting Supply. Go check out the MFK diaphragms, and damn sure check out the new Dog Soldier hand calls. They're like 20 bucks. 20 bucks, and this sounds better than 90% of the hand calls on the shelf, and it's a retail of 20 bucks. What more can you ask for? This is a real deal. This is Dog Soldier. We are excited. I gotta go get my hands on the first coyote of the season. I am freaking jacked up. Yes. Whew. That's it. I mean, it's not rocket science. I get excited. I get pumped up. This is my 12th year filming coyotes for television. I cannot be more thankful. Like I always say, I mean, if you don't like how excited I get or you don't like how straightforward I am, I'm freaking American. Don't watch. This is Dog Soldier on the Sportsman Channel. We got time for one more stand. It's August. It was 90 degrees today. Man, God bless America. I tell you what, and our veterans and our firefighters and our policemen and all these people making this possible. Look at this. I'm out coyote hunting. Other people in other countries, some of them don't get to do this stuff. We got to be thankful. We got to have fun. We got to do it right. We got to be on the same team as hunters. I'm going to get on a rant, and you guys don't want to see this the first episode of the year, so I'll catch you guys on the next stand.
To you by Winchester Ammunition and Repeating Arms, Caldwell Shooting Supplies, Bog Pod, Tripods, Bipods, and Supplies, Optical Dynamics, Long Distance Illuminators, MFK Diaphragm Howlers, TacticalPredatorHunter.com for your Dog Soldier approved gear, and Alaska Guide Creations, the original Bino Pack by Jared Owens, made in the USA.
All right, guys, thanks for watching the pod video. That's just something I decided to throw in here. Hey, if you guys look up at the screen, you notice a pretty good-looking fella and his pretty good-looking wife there. That is Justin McCowan and Jessica McCowan, and they are the founders of Operation Veterans Rising. And that's why I wanted to show you guys that video. That video is actually a pretty good video, and I almost got on a rant and thanking our veterans and our firemen and our policemen and everything else. And I tell you what, that's very important. So everybody, welcome Justin McCowan to the show. How's it going, Justin?
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. These cats don't know that we go way back. Me and Justin actually went to school together. I can't remember a day or a year in my life not knowing Justin McCowan. And I tell you what, man, guys like you kind of put Buffalo, Missouri on the map. You You joined the military. Tell us a little bit about your military background, Justin.
Well, I started 18 years ago, a little small town just like you, and kind of spread my wings and went and got my training. And they sent me out to Mountain Home, Idaho. It was right there before 9/11. And so I was a crew chief on the KC-135 Strato tanker. And what that does is it refuels other airplanes in the air. So, the kind of the saying there is nobody kicks ass without tanker gas. Those fighter jets use about half their fuel even taking off.
Yeah.
So they ended up shutting that wing down. I went down to Oklahoma, worked on the airborne warning and control system, the E3. Kind of like a control tower in the air, crew chief on that. Went back to tankers, and then decided I needed to try to get back closer to my family, so I came up here completely recross-trained and worked my way up to a 7-level craftsman on the A-10 Warthog. And still doing that, run the Maintenance Operations Center for the A-10 Attack Squadron now, and so that's kind of my story, kind of my career story with the military.
Well, that's awesome. A lot of people are commenting right now to thank you and your wife. I posted this picture. I found it on Facebook. I went to school with both of y'all, and I found this picture. And the picture don't tell the whole story. Your wife is actually in the Air Force, correct?
Yeah, she's a rock star. She actually outranks me. She's a senior master sergeant. She is just a fast burner. She's done everything right, and she's been rewarded for it. She's actually the superintendent of the command post and works directly for the wing commander.
Yeah, I remember one time in high school, I thumped this melon one time in the lunchroom, and I was getting ready to rip this kid in half, and she grabbed me and told me to think about what I was doing, and I kind of owe her probably a little bit for that. She's always been strong. She always accomplished a lot when we was in school, and you guys have a pretty nice family. You got 2 little ones. Tell us about your little ones.
Well, yeah, we've actually got 3 now. 7, 4, and 2. So it's awesome all the time, and at the same time a challenge. Anybody out there has kids knows exactly what I mean by trying to divide your time, and both of us working full time, and it's a real decision I think people make. Whether to be a good parent or not. I think I just think it's a real decision what kind of legacy you're going to leave behind, because no one's going to remember what house you had or car you drive. What you leave behind is a legacy with your kids, how they're raised.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And that brings me to the point. We got about 7 minutes left in the show. You guys can see that logo on top of Justin's picture there, Operation Veterans Rising. Justin has started a really, really, really important nonprofit. And one reason I wanted to have Justin on the show tonight is probably because this kind of stuff is more important to me than anything. And I have my personal reasons, but I'm very patriotic, and I very much so dedicate a lot of my thoughts every day to veterans. And being close to Justin in this program he started, I respect Justin for this. It's a big commitment as well. Justin, tell us about Operation Predator, I say Operation Predator because I used to be on that video. So tell us about Operation Veterans Rising.
Well, our number one mission at Operation Veterans Rising is to help veterans and their families rise up from their daily struggles. We both have witnessed this firsthand. When I was in Afghanistan and she was 7 months pregnant, I was there for 6 months, but she went through a lot of stuff being here by herself, and that happens every day to a lot of wives and husbands. And, when things unexpected happen to these people, they need to have somebody to call, from home and car repair to utilities or rent or mortgage assistance. Things happen. People don't get paid to the right account over there, So they need to have somebody to call. And, I've always been called to serve. That's why I became, why I decided to join the military. And as an exit strategy, I guess you could say, I'm going to be retiring soon, and I want to continue to serve. So that's kind of the premise behind it. It went from an idea, and it's becoming reality more and more every day. And so we're excited about it. We're helping people already, and it's just something that I felt called to do, and I hope people jump on board because these people need somewhere to go to get some help without red tape that comes from government bureaucracy. There shouldn't have to be people that put their lives on the line and wrote a blank check to the American people up to and including their life. They should have to fill out 15 forms to get some help. So that's what we're here for.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. We got a few minutes left. There's some comments. Tristan Berry from Springfield, Missouri. She asked, "How can we help?" So tell us, Justin. Just fill us in. What can we do? What can we do to get involved with Operation Veterans Rising?
Well, you can find us on Facebook or Twitter, or we got a website, www.operationveteransrising. There's a donation link on every one. The thing about helping people is, in the military, it's a pretty paycheck to paycheck deal. And if I could help everybody, I could, but I just can't. So if there was a way that you could find it in your budget to just maybe reach out and give a little bit, I can guarantee you that your money is going to go to veterans and their families and helping them rise up from their struggles.
Sweet. Well, good deal, man.
And if you can't listen, Stephen, and if they can't do that, just sign up to volunteer.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a whole lot of funds right now, we're just putting our hard work, to help these people and just putting some sweat equity into helping whoever we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, Justin, thanks for being on the show. We're about ready to wrap it up, and everybody go out to Operation Veterans Rising. Justin, I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you a little later. We got some other business we need to talk about here in the next couple days, and we all want to get involved more with Operation Veterans Rising. And as the dog soldier, the personality, but most of all, as Steve Kreiner, the person, I want to do whatever I can help to get you to grow this thing and get it off the ground.
Well, Steve, I appreciate it. I want to make sure that you know that every time you mention a veteran or stand up for these firefighters or police officer, it's a huge morale boost. And that, at the end of the day, knowing that somebody cares means more than anything.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you being on the show, Justin, and everybody can go to Operation Veterans Rising on Facebook, and also I'll have links to it on the fan page, which is facebook.com/DogSoldierTV. Justin, thanks for joining us, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Steve.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, I tell you what, Justin is a super dude. I've been around Justin a lot when I was younger, and we stayed in contact our whole life. I'm 38 years old now. I'm watching this video back and trying to read your all's chats, and I look like I'm 80. But you know what he's doing is a good deal, and I spend probably a lot more time talking about veterans than I do coyote hunting if I can. I've got a personal demon I fight all the time about that, and man, we just can't support them enough. In the news today, I was watching the news, and they talked about the terrorist attack over in Britain, and an American was killed. But it don't mean that Americans have to be killed to take care of these problems. We need to take care of ISIS, and we need to take care of the problems we have with terrorists. But you know what? We need to think about our veterans. I seen a shirt today online, and Justin also sells a lot of grunt style stuff on his Facebook page, but I seen a shirt that said "Veterans Before Refugees," and I really believe in that, and I really believe strongly in that. You know what, guys? That's going to bring us to the close of the show. The hour mark is upon us. I'd love to talk all night long, but I do have kind of a life. I got to go upstairs, and I can't sit down here all hours of the night, or I would. But I appreciate you guys joining me on the Predator Hunter today. Remember, youtube.com/Dog Soldier TV. Share it. We're going to try to do this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. We got Tim Wells coming up. We got Al Morris. We got Garvin Young. I'm going to try to get a hold of Jeff Nimnick. I talked to Rick Paulette today. He's going to join us on the show. We're going to have a lot of good, solid predator hunting stuff and predator hunting action coming your way. And we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of things, and we're going to get down to the drama of things, and you guys are going to actually learn what the industry is really all about. So once again, I'm Steve Kreiner, the Dog Soldier. I want to thank you guys for everything. Man, I tell you what, this has been a good show. We had a lot of things going on today, and we talked to Scott, and we talked to Justin, and we did some news. Go to my fan page on Facebook. Go to my fan page. Just look up Steve Kreiner, the Dog Soldier on Facebook, and let me know how you guys like the podcast. Once again, Steve Kreiner, the Dog Soldier. Peace out, homies. See you down the road.